Hi, and your client's with you?
He is.
Hi, Mr. Smith.
How you doing?
I'm good. Could you state your name for the record, please?
Mazi Smith.
Okay, so I don't have Mr. Smith's phone number or email address. I suggest we not put that on YouTube. So if you, Mr. Smith, want to call the court later and update your contact information, or John, if you want to submit it to Paul through his email.
I can do that, Judge. I'll do that
Okay.
right after the hearing.
All right, we just want to make sure we have good contact information so that Mr. Smith can get the proper links to appear in court.
Very good.
Okay, I'm not going to put his address out there either. The address on the complaint is an okay place to send mail.
Is it the Ann Arbor address?
Yep.
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, thank you. This is State of Michigan versus Mazi Smith, 22F55686. I have received an appearance from your office, Mr. Shea. You may proceed when you are ready.
Your Honor, we waive formal reading of the complaint. Mr. Smith knows what the charge is, and he knows what the maximum possible penalties are. So we waive formal reading of it. He stands mute at this time, and I'll be happy to address bond when the court is ready for me to do
Okay,
that.
do you want me to hear from the prosecutor's office first, or would you like to go first?
I'm happy for you to hear from the prosecutor's office first.
When you're ready, Ms. O'Connor, go ahead.
Thank you, Your Honor. Gabrielle O'Connor on behalf of the people. The prosecutor's office is fine with standard bond conditions, PR bond, so no weapons, no further criminal activity.
All right, thank you. Go ahead, Mr. Shea.
This is Mr. Smith's first contact with the law. This incident arose out of a traffic stop at like around 9 o'clock in the morning. Maybe I'm a little off on the exact time, but it was in the morning on a Friday. He was asked whether there was a weapon in the car. He was honest. He was forthright. He was completely cooperative. Ironically, he was in the midst of obtaining his CPL. He had not yet completely obtained it. He does have it now, which is even more ironic. But he was in the process, and I say that not to try to convey anything other than he was trying to be responsible, and he completed that process. We will address at a later date the issues regarding criminal liability. He's a lifelong Michigan resident, as the warrant recall application that I submitted yesterday says. He's a full-time student at the University of Michigan. You're a junior, right?
Yeah. Well,
junior class?
registered junior.
Registered junior class.
School.
Okay, a senior at U of M. And active family involvement. He's a good young man. I concur in the request for a PR bond. We don't have a problem with the standard conditions. I would ask that Mr. Smith be permitted to travel outside of the state of Michigan, which it's no secret he's on the football team and they play games outside of the state of Michigan. So we're asking the court permit him to travel.
Just for that purpose, though, right?
Okay, that's fine.
I mean, is that what you're asking for, is traveling with the team in order to attend and participate in out-of-state football games?
Games and related activities, practices. They sometimes have to leave the state earlier.
Right. Okay. So I think that I've let people leave the state for less important reasons, so I'm going to do that. I think what we'll put in the bond form is okay to travel out of state with U of M football team.
Thank you.
Okay, so what that means, Mr. Smith, is that if your team is traveling, you can go with them. Okay, and you can go anywhere that team is going for any reason related to your participation on that team. Okay. But other than that, I'm not giving you permission to travel outside of the state of Michigan. So you can't take yourself someplace to watch some other team play. You can go if your team is going, but not by yourself. You can't go to Cedar Point. You can't go to Kentucky. Okay. Does that make sense?
Yes, hang on one second.
Yeah, he has a question about that. Yeah, go ahead, Ms. O'Connor.
And just to clarify, even though I'm sure it's very clear, come back when the team comes back.
Right.
There may be at some point in the next couple of months, there may be other needs for him to travel.
We
can
don't have to address that today, right?
Yeah, we'll deal with that then.
Okay. All right. Okay. The rest of yours, I'm giving you a personal bond, Mr. Smith. Bond has essentially two parts to it. One is whether the defendant is a flight risk, and the other is whether the defendant is a danger to the community. There's nothing in the file that I have that indicates that you are either of those things, other than the fact that you've been charged with a felony. So I'm giving you a personal recognizance bond today. While you are on bond, you're not to travel outside of the state of Michigan, except as we just discussed with the University of Michigan football team. You're not to use alcohol, marijuana, or illegal drugs. I'm not ordering any drug testing, but while you are subject to the jurisdiction of the court, you can be drug tested at any time. Okay. No purchase or possession of firearms, weapons, or ammunition. No criminal behavior of any kind. Okay, do you have any questions about the bond conditions?
No, ma'am.
Okay, the probable cause conference will be December 8th at 9 a.m. over Zoom. Someone's going to update us with Mr. Smith's contact information, right?
I'm going to do it right away,
Okay.
Judge. I appreciate it, and tell Paul that to look for something in the next 5 minutes for me.
Okay. Anything else?
No,
People.
nothing for the defense. Thank you, Judge.
Okay, thank you.
Thank
Take
you.
All right, you're all set, Mr. Smith. Thank you. Good to see you, John.
All right, nice seeing you too.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.